Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we are continuing cloud busting, and after last week I want to know what happens between Davey and Sam. Their relationship is a very unique thing, and I think this chapter talks about that in a lot more detail. So let's not waste any time and get stuck back in to cloud busting. Chapter 11, Shadow. After that, Davey became my shadow. He followed me around like my shadow. In front of my friends, he was still Fizzy Feet. But when it was just us two, he became Davey. Davey who cracked such bad jokes that I couldn't help laughing. And he said, "Your smile is so big it's going to fall off your face." Davey who said my mum's cooking tasted of sunshine and rainbows, and made her grin and strut like a peacock. "What a sweet boy that Davey is," said Mum. She admired his taste. Davey who said Dad's homemade table was the best he'd ever seen, even though Mum said a silent prayer whenever she put anything on it heavier than a chocolate biscuit. As a table, it was a dead loss. "What a smart boy that Davey is," said Dad. He admired Davey's sense. And when we were alone, when it was just Davey and me, he'd ask, "Do you know what stars are? Stars are holes in the floor of heaven." He'd ask, "Do you know what dreams are? Dreams are a way for us to live two lives." Huh? I frowned, my mouth turned down. What was he talking about? Did he even know? "I read about a man," said Davey, "who once dreamt that he was a butterfly. Butterfly, flutter by, gently with the breeze, as it blows you with its ease, through the flowers and past the trees. So butterfly, flutter by, butterfly." "Did you make that up?" I asked, wondering how we got onto this subject. "Yes, I did," smiled Davey. "It shows," I replied sourly. Davey grinned at me. "So anyway, this man once dreamt he was a butterfly, and he woke up and wondered if he was a man who dreamt he was a butterfly, or a butterfly who is now dreaming he was a man." "Davey, where do you get this stuff from? You're making my head hurt," I groaned. "I read it, see it, think it, hear it, taste it." "Taste it?" "What's your favourite food?" Davey asked. "Roast lamb, the way my mum makes it. And rice and roast parsnips, the way my mum makes them." I licked my lips at the thought. "And what does that taste like?" asked Davey. I frowned. "Roast lamb and rice tastes like roast lamb and rice?" "Use your imagination," Davey urged. "When you eat it, how does it make you feel? What does it remind you of? What thoughts enter your head as you eat?" I considered. "I think, what lovely roast lamb and rice. Doesn't it taste like starbeams in your tongue, or daydreams in your mouth, or wishes down your throat, or happiness in your stomach, or a headache in my brain?" I grumbled. Davey was really making my head hurt. "There's more than one way to look at something," said Davey, adding, "I know you think I'm different, unique, special, individual. The word I'm thinking of is weird," I said. Davey grinned. "Well, I'm glad. The worst thing in the world, no, the worst thing in the universe would be to look and walk and talk and think like everyone else." I looked at Davey, then really looked at him, and I realised something strange. He meant every word. And even though talking to Davey sometimes did my head in, at least he had something to say. a way that was all his own. I guess what I'm trying to say is, he wasn't the least bit boring. Alex and I talked about football and other sports, football results and films sometimes, football players and girls sometimes, football tactics and school sometimes, but mainly football, mostly football. Davey and I talked about the earth as a football, the stars as spectators, girls as aliens, teachers as robots or nutbags or demons, films to walk into, books to hold on to, music to live for, Muse and Mozart, jobs to grow up for, dreams to stay young with. Davey and I talked about anything and everything. I tried to be careful. I really and truly did, but most people started to notice that we were sometimes together, often together, always together. My best friend Alex said, "You're spending a lot of time with Fizzy Feet. What's that about?" I can't stand him, I panicked. So why would I hang around with him? He's a first class, grade A, top of the dung heap moron. And Alex started laughing at something. Someone behind me. I turned round, and there was Davey. And he heard every word. He didn't say anything, he just walked away. And Alex was still laughing. And I looked at Alex, and I looked at Davey walking away, and at that moment I had to choose. To choose between being the kind of boy I was and the kind of boy I wanted to be. I chose to stay with Alex. I watched Davey walk away, and I knew I was making the wrong choice, but my feet wouldn't move. I didn't want Alex and my mates to laugh at me as well, so I stayed with Alex and I watched Davey walk away. And then I realised that Davey wasn't my shadow. It was the other way around. And that ends our next chapter of Cloud Busting. Let me know what you're thinking of the book so far in the comments below, and as always, take care and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye!